Hello and welcome back to Neil's Spanish Flybox. I hope you are all well and enjoying your fishing. Today's tying is a high-vis Caddis Fly and it's perfect for low light conditions. So I'll get straight into the tying, but I'll give you the materials as we go along. There are quite a few of them. I'm going to be using some 10-0 grey thread. And in the vise I have a size 14 hook. I'm going to start that about 1 mil behind the eye and wind it down and trim off the thread. Wind down to almost the bend of the hook. I'm going to put a tag on the fly. And this is orange floss. Now you can also use green, you can really use whatever colour you fancy. It's just another attractor, which was supposedly, I think when it all started, was supposed to be some sort of invention of an egg sac. But I think it's turned out to be just more of an attractor. And just wind that on around the start of the bend of the hook, until you have a nice tag at the end, and tie it off. And having tied it off, trim up the butts and tidy up a little bit. Right, I'm going to put a tail on it, and I've said before that I keep a bag of bits and pieces that I have cut off and saved. So here we have a CDC feather, which I'm just tearing off the fibres from each side. And that is going to form a small tail. One of the things about this fly is that there is a lot of movement, which is very important, and it makes the fly look a little bit scruffy, but that is intentional. And trim up the butts. And wind them down. Now for the body, I'm going to use a UV hare's ear. Now I have used this on flies before, but it is very, very effective. You can see the UV in there. So take off little pieces and create a noodle for tying on as the body. Let's see how we get on with that. If you don't like the way it's sitting, don't hesitate to go backwards and start again. Having a bit of trouble here, aren't we? Just pull back the fibres and tidy up there. Now we're going to put an underwing. Now you can use woodcock, you can use partridge, you can use whatever you want. This is an old Indian Cree cock cape, but as you can see there are some wider feathers at the top end there. So I've taken one of those off and I'm just going to trim up all of the bottom part, just take it all off to create an underwing. And you should end up with something like that. Again, tied on from the side. so that it ends up hopefully on top. There. Right, now I'm going to take a couple of CDC feathers. They don't have to match up, but as long as I've got plenty of fibres on, tear off one side, then tear off the other side, and you should have a hefty wing there. And tie it. As you can see, it's looking scruffier by the moment, which is good. And trim up the butts. And tidy up. Right, now this is going to be a parachute style, so I'm going to tie in some high-vis material to create the post, and this is magenta. Just trim up the other end there to make it evenish. Just put it on top as such, like that, and tie it down, one in front and one behind. Right, I'm just going to put a couple of wraps around the base of the post just to keep it in place. Right, now for the actual wing on the post, I'm going to use a dumb feather from a collar, and I'm going to use one of the wider feathers at the back here to create the wing on the post. I'm taking one of those off, trim off the fluff at the bottom. And tie it in. Tie it down at the front also, and trim it up. Right, now we're going to tie it to the post. At the base of the post. Right, now for the thorax, we're going to use some more of the UV hairs here. Pull that back and wind it down. Right, and now we're going to wind the hackle around the post. We'll use some pliers here, I think, hackle pliers. Try and go below the previous tie. should be enough. Cross over the thread, pull back the fibres as best you can. That's better. And tie off. Right, now I'm going to use a 1/2 inch tool to tie off. There. That was convenient, that falling off, but fortunately it was tied down. I'm just going to pull these apart just a little bit to make sure that the feather is down and trim it up. And I'm just going to brush out some of the hairs here to make it even scruffier. And there you have the finished fly. All of this scruffiness is going to create a great deal of movement. There. There's a few extra long ones down there, trim those off. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed that. As I say, it's perfect for early evening or low light conditions, and it doesn't have to be smooth water. With some floatant on the body, it will certainly suffer anything up to unsettled water, not rough, but unsettled water. Enjoy it and fish it, because it will certainly catch you some fish. If you're not already a subscriber, please consider hitting the bell and becoming a subscriber. If you are already a subscriber, share it with other people. Pass a comment if you so wish, give it a thumbs up, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.